We're just gonna let the toilet run out while we're just to kind of set the.
Wait for the toilet.
Just kind of get it. Nah, just to kind of set the mood.
Set the mood.
Get it at a fever pitch with the toilet.
So you guys kind of were hinting at.
What's the what are your words?
We're not saying what we did in there, but we're gonna be focused. I don't know. It's just, do hyphenated words count? What's a hug me type?
Hug me type?
Yeah.
It's a person that's nice.
What do you think a hug me tight is?
Oh, tight?
Hug me tight.
Hug me tight.
Oh, that's like a straight jacket.
Okay.
That's what I would guess.
I don't even have a guess. That sounds good.
What is it?
Copying Andrew's guess?
Yeah.
It's a woman's short, usually knitted, sleeveless, close-fitting jacket.
Nice.
Right.
All right.
That one's okay.
Thanks.
Do you have any ones we could maybe use?
Frustum.
That's like your like a bone, like a front bone, the foremost bone.
Okay. What is it, Zach? What's a frustum?
A frustum is like a cold front. There's a frustum blowing
Folks,
in.
let me tell you what a frustum is. I lost it. Shit. Oh, here it is. It's the basal part of a solid cone or pyramid formed by cutting off the top by a plane
Of
parallel
course.
to the base.
I understand.
Mm-hmm.
It's like for calculus. Calculus.
Also, the part of a solid intersected between two usually parallel lines. The frustum. Try it out. Fubsy.
We did fubsy. I've said that word on this before.
Okay.
Get on a different. That means turn the page. You're on a bad page.
This is a relaxed podcast.
Turn the page.
I'll go in the S's.
Get off the fuck. I was on the page that had fuck on it. Yeah, I was on that page already.
I wasn't looking for fuck.
I know, but that's where Fubsy is. Just so you know.
It is where, dude. Oh my god.
I lost the Woody Allen quote. Fuck.
What is a shawm?
Shawm, that's a they blow into it. It's like a horn.
Okay.
I keep thinking that Andrew's just saying the correct stuff. He sounds so confident.
You're basically right. It's a woodwind instrument. It's a double reed woodwind instrument. Nice.
Wow, hell yeah.
Shit.
Is it Jewish or something? We don't know.
No, it doesn't say. I think it's French. Maybe it's like a
Nice.
French word. Shearling.
How's that spelled?
Shear, like
Okay, shearling.
kitchen shing.
It's like it's either like a fine quality of wool or like a young lamb after they've been shorn.
It is the skin. It's from a sheep. It's from a sheep or a lamb. It's the skin from a recently sheared sheep or lamb that has been tanned and dressed with the
It's
wool.
like if you get a bomber jacket or whatever, like that kind of furry. You know what I mean? That's shearling.
okay.
Yeah. It's like Sherpa. They call it Sherpa.
Nice. What is sheep dip? Speaking of sheep,
That's
you know so
something-
much about sheep.
It's what the sheep go
Tell me
through.
what sheep dip.
They go through it and it like they go through it and it bathes them and it gets all the ticks and stuff off them.
Holy shit!
Is that right?
This guy is killing it on the
Wow.
sheep.
Damn, I was
The
gonna say
sheep
that.
words. I'm kind of in the sheep section of the dictionary. What's a sheep laurel? Tough guy?
Laurel?
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 A sheep laurel?
Sheep laurel. Laurel.
It's like a place where
Am I a
you
nutty? Do I?
Laurel? No, I don't know. Yeah, I got it.
Laurel?
It's just a thing where it's like, are
Laurel?
you pronouncing it good or wrong or bad?
Laurel?
I get you're saying it good, but it's like when I first hear it, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sheep laurel.
You
That's
don't
just
hear
a
that
type.
one.
That's just a type of flower. Yeah. It's like what they use to make reeds.
It's more of a dwarf shrub. But
Okay,
you're,
yeah,
you're pretty
yeah.
close.
Yeah.
Oh man, sheep words are so good. Let's see if I can stump you on sheep. I'm gonna find a sheep thing. Sheepberry. No, you'll see right.
Zach,
through
tell
that.
us about what the guy said about
What's
when
a sheep
the
cat?
shepherds would break the legs of the sheep?
The shepherds would break the legs of the sheep because... Okay, yeah. No, shepherds, a big
This
part...
is something some guy from New Zealand said to Zach.
Okay, tell that. I'm gonna blow Andrew's
Big
mind.
part of being a shepherd... I can't do a New Zealand accent. A big part of being a shepherd is when a sheep disobeys, runs away, and it's real young, you break its leg. Maybe 2 legs, I don't know. And then...
Oh, fuck. The dictionary just closed on its own.
And it's really fucked up. And then you take the sheep and the lamb, and you carry it around your neck.
You sling it.
For the next few weeks or whatever while it heals. And then that sheep...
But you're being real nice to it too, kind of. Because you're carrying it around.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're being very sweet to it now. And then that sheep, once it's healed, it loves you so much and it just walks right beside you. And sometimes God, I think, has to break our legs so that we learn to be obedient to God. And then, but he'll break our legs, but then he'll be like, okay, now you can ride on my neck, and then you can walk by my side.
Yeah. That happened to me.
It's all sheep-based. Most of my sheep knowledge comes from Christianity.
That is true.
The sheep.
You just want to be
stuff.
a sheep. You don't want to be a Sadducee.
The shepherd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a song. Did you ever sing a song where it was like, "Don't want to be a Sadducee because they're so sad, you see."
Yeah. I don't know that.
I just want to be a sheep.
They say that in the song?
That's what we would sing.
I thought you were just making that up.
No.
Wow.
Don't want to be a Pharisee because they're not fair, you see.
Do
you have one for the Sanhedrin?
We did not discuss the Sanhedrin at Luther. Bethany Luther.
I mean, it's in the same, the Pharisees, the Sadducees, the Sanhedrin.
Maybe the Sanhedrin was brought up, but it didn't make its way into the song.
They didn't have a rhyme.
Didn't make its way into the song that is forever in my head.
Yeah, and it's maybe from Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat or something, or some kind of musical, extra biblical musical.
The Lutherans get down.
What's
musically.
that? Godspell might be from Godspell.
Describe Godspell for people who don't know. I know what
There's it's a musical, and everything in the musical, is everything. It's from the Bible.
Okay.
But then they're singing. And
it's everybody from the Bible from different times and eras.
They're just, I don't know. Yeah, they live in San Francisco maybe? Or I don't know, yeah. It's
I gotta watch this.
Yeah, they're all, it's like if Jesus was a hippie kind of.
Who's in it?
Victor Garber.
Okay. Who?
I don't know.
What do we got? What do you got?
Zach's got the book. This is a book. Tell us the book.
This is called the 1,911 Best Things Anybody Ever Said. Cynics, scholars, comedians, candidates, reporters, writers, philosophers, and just about everyone else finally have their say. To be a fly on that wall with that crew. Selected and compiled by Robert Byrne.
So this is a toilet book.
Yes, this is a great toilet book. Number 94 in the third section. Last night I discovered a new form of oral contraceptive. I asked the girl to go to bed with me and she said no. Woody.
Woody Allen.
Yeah. Shout out Woody. Shout out Woody Allen.
Alan Zimmerman or whatever.
Are we Woody Allen apologists for the podcast? For controversy? For clicks and clips?
I'm not I like some of the movies are okay.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But the legacy might have been a bit overstated pre-cancellation.
Sure.
So a lot of ground to make up there. A lot of time soaring, maybe too high. So I think it's kind of evening itself out now.
Yeah, I would agree. Probably guilty. We don't need to get into it.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm going with what you guys said.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like his Dixieland Jazz Band.
There you go.
Him and Robert Crumb. Say what you will. Great Dixieland jazz musician.
Robert Crumb, yeah.
I like this
Perverts, all of them, but great, banjo lele players.
I like this one quote: "Vote early and vote often." Al Capone.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh my god, the irony.
Mm-hmm.
The irony.
Mm-hmm.
And then just a turd falls out of your butt. You just...
Alright. I got some poems. I got the Mary Oliver poems.
Oh, did you guys know the Onion is back?
I didn't know it left.
That's exciting.
Speaking of laughing.
It was gone?
Laughing and pooping.
What happened?
The Onion's back in print.
Oh.
Oh wow.
In Chicago.
Oh, you were in Chicago.
I was in Chicago and there was print.
Right.
Issues
Yeah, they
of
used
the
to have
Onion.
that in Austin, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It was great. I read it while
Nice.
pooping, and it's all very funny.
Oh, yeah.
There was
You
a
pay,
quote-
you
there was
pay
one-
for it?
No,
Oh, nice.
it was just around.
Nice.
It was at the
They used to have that in Austin.
I know they had it in Kansas City too.
Okay. So
But
is
this
it
is
back? Is it maybe
I
only
think
back
it's only
in,
back in Chicago.
or it never left? They kept printing it, or they're just
No, there was like an article about how it's back in print,
Oh,
and I think it was the first one back in print.
you got it. Dang.
And I got it. I should have kept it.
Wow. You wiped your ass with it.
Yeah, basically, might as well have. If I don't have one with, I might as well be lying right now because I don't have a copy to show you guys. But there was a quote about from Kamala Harris that was saying that she wasn't worried about the presidential race because no matter who wins, a Howard University grad will be president. The Onion, check it out. Official recommendation, podcast endorsement of The Onion, if that's all right with you, Andrew.
I mean, you could have a personal endorsement if you want it. I mean, not really.
Not an official.
I mean, if they give
This
us some
show
money,
isn't
if they
official
give us some
endorsement.
money, it's not really a show. It's more of a loose meeting that we're recording. It's not. There's not really any power that we.
This
We have no
program
endorsement power. What do you
It's
mean?
brought to you in part
No.
by.
What part? Which part?
In part.
Okay.
Anyway.
I got the poems. Someone do some poems. Oh yeah, I was telling you about the gift earlier. You didn't really seem familiar with the gift.
No.
I was saying you got to open the gift, or was I telling you? Yeah, no, I said you had to open the gift.
I have
You
to
had,
open
you
the
were
gift.
given gifts in the Uber from the driver, and you didn't open them.
Yeah, I didn't open the gift.
Yeah, they were. You were. Life has
forgot
been
the
offering
gift.
you gifts.
Oh my
So take that into consideration. Okay, for this is the gift. Mary Oliver, and I googled
The gift.
more about Mary Oliver. I know more about her now,
Yeah.
so
Casino
might
guy-
come into play. I know.
Casino
Yeah,
would never. That would never.
we'll see. We'll
nothing
see.
would-
Let's
nothing would
listen to
have
the
come of
poem and see how
it. I
you
left
feel.
a piece of paper in the green room.
The gift. Be still, my soul, and steadfast. Earth and heaven both are still watching through, though time is draining from the clock. And your walk, that was confident and quick, has become slow. So, be slow, if you must, but let the heart still play its true part. Love still as once you loved, deeply and without patience. Let God and the world know you are grateful that the gift has been given.
Nice.
So, did you ever think
I'm
about
grateful.
that?
I
Did
am
you think
grateful.
about that? No, you got it.
I'm grateful the gift was given. I just don't think anything
Just
would
made
have.
you think. Makes you think.
It makes me think
Makes
about
you think.
gifts. And maybe I've been ignoring some gifts.
But she's a lesbian.
I know that
Oh,
there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know that there's.
And
a gift.
her partner is a famous photographer who took this picture on the cover.
Wow.
Is that a foot? What is
It's
that?
her and she's feeding a bird.
Oh.
It's the poet and she has a little spoon and she's
I
feeding
thought
a
it was a
bird.
picture of a foot.
No, that's a hand. It's tough. It's tough.
But it had the berries in it, and it like
Right.
far away. Well, yeah.
There's no berries. You still are not perceiving the picture. It's
I'm
okay.
not. You're
It's
right.
okay.
Oh, there's a bird.
It's okay.
New glasses, I
That's
think.
no. I still am like looking at it and being like, I don't. It's a weird picture.
Far away.
It's
it
a hard.
looks like a foot. I don't know
picture,
what to tell you.
But her name, the partner's name is, it says Molly Malone Cook, and they lived in Provincetown. They moved to Provincetown together, which is like the gay town in Connecticut, where it's like a
Hell
beach
yeah.
town.
Wow.
And she's famous for going on long walks in nature.
Wow. That's
So,
right.
great to be known for that.
Damn. That's you're known for taking long walks.
Yeah.
The
And
walks
also-
must be really long.
I don't know if you guys saw this last time,
She
but there
must-
was an inscription in
Aw.
the book.
Yeah. I think I tried to
It's
get you to read that.
Really sad. No, that was a different one that was not legible. But yeah, this person's named Angel. Do you think Angel's a guy or a girl?
I assume a girl.
Guy.
What about this handwriting? Oh, yeah, I thought it was a gay guy. I don't know.
I have an aunt named Angel.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. So I think woman.
Could be on hell. Who's it addressed to?
Happy Mother's Day.
Oh.
Thank you for modeling and fostering in me a love of books and the words and reading. It has been one of my greatest joys. I love this poet and often just let this book fall open to a page and enjoy it as a devotion. Thought you might like the same. Smiley face. Love, Angel.
As devotion.
I think gay guy is a good read here.
Gay son?
Yeah, gay
Yeah.
son, Catholic Mexican mom.
Yeah. As a devotion. I let the book fall open. You ever just let a book fall open in front of you?
Mm-hmm. Love to.
Yes.
Love to.
The dog ones were good. I was reading all these dog ones. You guys want to read?
Dog poems? Yeah, let me hit a dog.
Yeah, let me find the good one. We got.
Are y'all familiar with like her famous quote that became
No.
like a meme, kind of?
About the multitudes?
The one that's
Doesn't
like,
she contain multitudes or?
Whitman contains multitudes.
Oh, my
Mary
bad.
Oliver
My bad.
says. Mary Oliver says, "What will you do with your one wild and precious life?"
Oh.
And then people make jokes of that. They'll be like, "Just got Chipotle and took a shit with my one
Wild.
wild and precious life," or whatever.
This is...
She's America's greatest selling poet. I found.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
She's passed away, I think.
Yeah, she just passed away 2019.
May God rest her soul.
Wait, what was the good? There was a good one. I was like, this one's because it had to do with being demure. Have you heard anybody mention being demure? Is
I
that-
have, and I've seen it on the flower shop sign as well.
What do you think about this
But-
phenomenon of this word?
Well, someone explained it to me and was like, it was a TikTok thing where she said the girl is doing her makeup and she says, "This is really demure,"
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, unclear why that.
A lot of you go into the interview looking like Marge Simpson and come to the job looking like Patty and Selma.
Okay, that's pretty funny.
Look at my blouse, very demure. I'm only showing a little
I am
chichi.
modest. Yeah,
I'm
no
showing
chichi.
A little chichi, not the whole chocho.
That's quite funny. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But then now people are doing videos where they're like, look at the way I drink. Look at the way I drink my soda. Very demure. I have a straw. Very cutesy. I don't want to stain my teeth. I don't want to stain my... They're always like, it's like very...
Baby time.
I've been doing it like very cunty, very judgmental. Look
And
at the
it
way
is.
I walk.
It's, the original
Very
one
slow.
is so good because they're not pretty at all. And so, and it's like once someone who's any moderately amount of attractive does it, you're just like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Why are you doing
just
it?
being
This isn't
condescending.
even funny.
Very condescending. Look at the way I eat this
You're
salad.
just an
Very
asshole
condescending.
now. Yeah.
Because the whole part of it is a lot of you don't do this.
A
A lot of you act like animals, not me. Very, very condescending. Very bitchy. Anyway. Which one was I supposed to
The
read?
demure
Oh,
one.
shit.
She addresses it head on.
So this poem is called I Don't Want to Be Demure or Respectable.
Shit. She saw it coming. The next one's called Why I Am Not Brat. Watch out.
Why Brat Summer will never end.
She wrote this in 1978. We don't know.
Nostradamus actually did Brat Summer.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what it meant when they analyzed
In the
it.
original Italian, it was,
Yeah, they'd only noticed that he predicted 9/11, but they didn't know what they didn't know what to make of Brat Summer.
They initially translated it as dog shit, but we know now it was brat.
Dog shit summer. Nostradamus predicted the dog shit summer of 2024. Alright. I don't want to be demure or respectable. I was that way, asleep, for years. That way, you forget so many important things.
Mm.
How the little stones, even if you can't hear them, are singing. How the river can't wait to get to the ocean and the sky. It's been there before. What traveling is that? It is a joy to imagine such distances. I could skip sleep for the next 100 years. There is a fire in the lashes of my eyes. It doesn't matter where I am. It could be a small room. The glimmer of gold Bohm saw on the kitchen pot was missed by everyone else in the house.
What?
The glimmer of gold Bohm saw on the kitchen pot.
Bohm?
Bohm saw on the
How do you
kitchen
spell
pot.
Bohm?
B, capital B,
Oh.
O with an umlaut,
Okay.
H-M-E.
Okay.
Bohm.
It's probably a proper noun.
Beam. Bohm on the kitchen pot was missed by everyone in the house. Everyone else in the house. Fuck. Maybe the fire in my lashes is a reflection of that.
Mm.
Why do I have so many thoughts? They're driving me crazy. Why am I always going anywhere instead of somewhere? Listen to me not. Listen to me or not. It hardly matters. I'm not trying to be wise. That would be foolish. I'm just chattering. I'm going to read that last couple lines again. I'm not trying to be wise. That would be foolish. I'm just chattering.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Let me read the whole poem again. No, that was good.
This is one of the dog poems?
No.
I want to read this poem called Stebbins Gulch because it's a funny title,
Okay. Yeah, man.
objectively.
Go for it.
Stebbins Gulch. By the randomness of the way the rocks tumbled ages ago, the water pours, it pours ever along the slant of downgrade, dashing its silver thumbs along its rocks, or pausing to carve a sudden curled space where the flashing fish splash or drowse while the kingfisher overhead rattles and stares, so it continues for miles. This bolt of light, its only industry, to descend and to be beautiful while it does so as for purpose. There is none. It is simply one of those gorgeous things that was made to do what it does perfectly and to last as almost nothing does, almost forever.
Whoa.
Stebbins Gulch.
Wow.
I don't even need to go there ever.
When was the last time you were at a gulch? Put that in the comments. Drop a comment in your favorite gulch.
Favorite gulch.
Top 10 gulches.
Do not say Bloody Gulch, Red vs. Blue fans, okay?
Oh, no.
Just learned about
Shout
that.
out Rooster Teeth.
Shout out. Just shout out the Bloody Gulch map in Halo 1.
Yeah. Zach, do you want to read a...
No, he has
poem?
front... Oh, yeah, you can do a poem or a tale.
I'll do.
Oh,
a,
we could... Yeah, okay.
I'll do a poem.
Zach's gonna do a poem.
I liked in the first poem
Hit a
or the
Mary.
second poem. It
Hit
is
that sweet Mary.
It
The
is
dog ones are in earlier a little bit.
cool.
Yeah, I read. After the tabs, probably. But not too much more. But they're all called, like, the dog's names and stuff.
It's dog songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dog songs.
I was like, because it's like an edited one where it's like she picked the ones from it, and I'm like, dang, gotta be a lot more about dogs. I'm not getting. I gotta get all these other dog ones later on.
This one is the name of a dog, and it's I'm gonna say Bazugi.
Oh yeah, this one's good. Bazuki.
Bazugi.
Bazuji.
Bazuji?
Yeah, I
I don't think it says it in it.
gotcha. Yeah, not a big deal, but it's like a rapper name.
Isn't that the guy who sings Everybody
yeah.
in the Club?
Yeah.
Isn't that Bazuji?
That's
Bazuji, yeah,
Bazuji,
yeah.
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 Shibuji.
Mhm.
Shibuji. Shout out Chiboodle.
Chipotle.
Chipotle.
Where goes he now, that dark little dog who used to come down the road barking and shining? He's gone now from the world of particulars, the singular, the visible. So that deepest sting, sorrow. Still, is he gone from us entirely? Or is he part of that other world everywhere? Come with me into the woods where spring is advancing as it does, no matter what, not being singular or particular, but one of the forever gifts, and certainly visible. See how the violets are opening and the leaves unfolding, the streams gleaming and the birds singing. What does it make you think of? His shining curls, his honest eyes, his beautiful barking. Didn't realize I picked a poem about a dead dog. Sorry. This is about a dead dog.
But he was shining.
Yeah,
he was shining,
shining.
though.
Dang, dude, he had honest eyes.
Sorry.
I
Wow.
like when they're shining.
I thought the
When
dog.
he was being annoying as shit.
Thought the dog poems would be
No,
funny.
it's good. It's good.
No, they're all
It's
It's
dead.
good for you to
pretty
read
much.
sad stuff. I think you're good at reading sad stuff.
Thank you.
Zach's the sad mask.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sad
Connor
mask.
has the happy mask.
Happy mask. What is happy mask?
Damn.
Like
Oh,
the
masks?
drama and
Comedy
comedy,
and
and drama, yeah.
What are you?
I'm the little ribbon. There's always like a little ribbon.
The ribbon underneath us,
Yeah.
holding us up.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to try. I want you to read one, Zach,
Sure.
from this book. So this is a book that I lent, that I gifted. Speaking of gifts, right? I lent this.
Nothing
out.
says gifts like conditional conditions.
It's a conditional gift. And I've got this book. It's called this is the super twisted section of the segment of the thing.
Yeah.
This is a book called Burn You the Fuck Alive. It's so fucking fucked up. It's a part of something called New Lit. Now a lot of you might not know about.
Is it new in you?
NU with an umlaut lit?
Is it really?
No.
Okay.
But
Sometimes they do. New metal, they do that.
yeah, I was doing the new metal.
I thought they might.
This
it
is a
seems like
very-
they might take
okay.
the iconography from
Now
new.
that you've said that, this is basically the new metal of books.
Yeah.
It's a super fucked up, and I don't know if it's just like edgy high school shit, and I need someone else.
We gotta.
That's why I've been
We're
asking
gonna
you guys
roll
if
it
you've
in.
read it, because I
We're
need to
gonna roll it
know.
in.
Okay, Zach, this is called Waxing Moon, and this is the opening thing. It's a book of short stories by a guy named B.R. Yeager, and he's a super sick fuck. He's a super
He's
sick.
like-
Hell yeah.
He's a sick fuck.
He's like our age.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
definitely like 33.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm imagining you at a book club that's discussing Mary Oliver and you're pushing this book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All ladies,
Yeah, I
like,
just
we've all
need
got
you
our
guys-
seashells from the beach, and we're all going to compare them. Conrad has a human skull. Where'd you
I brought a
find
snake.
that?
I brought a
Where'd you-
snake. I'm charging for pictures.
Waxing Moon. Your son is 30 and still can't take care of himself.
Nice.
He faked it long enough to secure a wife, but it gave out sometime after the second year. He goes days without bathing, nursing bacteria-caked pits and crotch, always congested, scratching hot spots into his flesh,
Whoa.
staining bed sheets with blood and snot.
Whoa.
Your daughter-in-law tells you that 6 months ago she resigned herself to the couch.
I'm his mom or dad?
You're his mom.
Okay.
Or dad. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
She can't look at him without crying. Your son lost his job.
No.
Your son went back to community college and dropped out.
No.
Your son won't look up. Your son still jerks off 17 times a day.
It's too many.
Lets his seed just drip and crisp on the sheets that once also belonged to his partner, or seep and stiffen the fibers of his jeans. He never.
He's wearing jeans. He's wearing jeans while he jerks off.
You don't jack off.
Is that me? Am I not?
No, this book is gross.
Are you
so
taking
gross.
off your? I take off my jeans.
I'm always jeans.
I don't jerk off with jeans on.
Yeah, I don't think I've
Alright.
ever jerked off with jeans on.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I take them off.
But maybe that's just to show
'Cause
he's
I
a
mostly
true
wear
pervert.
khakis.
Because I'm not a pervert.
Yeah, yeah.
He never washes his clothes.
You're not a pervert.
Just cycling and
I'll make you
recycling through 3 distinct piles of filthed garment cultivated into volcanic islands atop the carpet. Every shirt he owns streaked with dried soup, either red or pus-colored. The last time you saw him, he smiled, but there wasn't anything behind his eyes. Your daughter-in-law tells you she is frightened of him. She says she can count on one hand the words he says in a day. She tells you that several months ago they adopted a puppy, but you had to give it away because your son would never feed or walk it while she was at work. Be a good dog song. Your daughter-in-law buys all the groceries. Your son never leaves the apartment. He refuses water when offered. Your son is still a liar, and you still can't quite be sure you're safe because he still dreams of you each night. He dreams of you in ways you could never begin to imagine.
Oh.
And no one knows this, but your son is watching you right now.
Because I'm super hot.
He is standing in his bathroom in his worn elastic boxers and sweated out sneakers, the laces untied and flailed against the freckled tiling. His eyes are wide open, aimed just above the mirror on the medicine cabinet, and when he focuses hard, so hard his eyes go blurry and his temples ache, he can see you, awake and pacing the hardwood miles away.
No.
And if he could speak to you,
He astral projects.
He would say he was the face in the light of the moon. He'd tell you his teeth are made of ice and grit, his breath a frozen spear. And if he could, he'd breathe all over your world, turning it cold and gaseous. He would watch your skin and your hair starve gray,
No.
and he would smile at how surprised your mouth curled and eyes widened. He'd smile at how that expression would be locked on your face forever. You would be so surprised because even though you couldn't see him, you have no way of knowing it's his breath raining down from the moon up high.
Whoa.
You would feel his familiarity. And he would look down on you from the sun's reflected light, knowing your last memory is of you fixing his tiny 8-year-old frame in a bed shaped like a race car,
Oh.
silently praying he'd still be safe and okay when you came to wake him the next day.
No. Dang.
That's the end.
Yeah, so it's like super twisted and fucked up.
Filial piety. We learned about that. Do you know what filial piety is?
Filial piety?
Yeah.
No, what is that?
It's like your family duty. It's really big in China.
Oh shit.
Doing it for the family.
Right.
But yeah, it's tough when you're the mom and your kid sucks and you were just really nice and hot.
I wouldn't call that like high school edgelord stuff at all. That's
Okay.
I mean, and I would say that
I thought he
That's
was
like-
gonna fuck her at the end, which would have been more.
damn,
He did this author did write another book about a guy who also wants to fuck his mom,
Yeah.
but
That's
he
huge.
doesn't fuck her.
That's
in the book.
huge. That's
Spoiler
not
alert: he
even-
doesn't fuck his mom.
That's huge.
I mean,
That's
a lot of
most
great literature, yeah,
Mhm.
about wanting to fuck your mom.
Aristophanes or Sophocles.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um.
Any other-
So this is another one that I wanted Andrew to read.
He's the moon. But it is like the moon.
It is like the
I lost it
He
already.
could become the moon.
What was it
Oh,
called?
shit.
Was
It
it
was
that
called
one?
He Just. Oh, this one's funny because it's one line. Read this one.
I don't want to do the one that's one line. What if you did the one that's one line?
I'll do the one that's one line.
Then
It's
find
called.
the
This
other
one's
one.
called the Autocastrato. The Autocastrato. It was the only thing he ever wanted to do, and once it was done, he could never do it again.
Damn.
That's it. Let me find the one. Fuck. 127. Here we go.
Okay. He just takes it. He gets shot in bed first thing in the morning. The blast pushes his face, the inside of his face, through the pillow and mattress into the wall. Speckle and bits obscuring in ornate wallpaper. Bone and sinus. He loves Speckle. He said Speckle in the other one. They shoot him again on the porch 7 times during his first cigarette of the day. Through his hand, his knees and thigh, his chest and neck and elbow. Smoke pours from the holes in his lungs. When he walks, bullets and shot grind together, offering new thresholds between organs in ways never conceived by G_D, period. So it's like God, but he doesn't put the O in it. But the G is capitalized. So is he
Never seen it like that.
Hebrew? You know, if he's...
Hebrewish? I don't know.
Because they do that thing with like Yahweh, where they spell Yahweh without the vowels.
I don't know.
Sometimes you'll see like G and then just an underscore with nothing after it or something.
Nice.
This is G_D.
They'll shoot him at work in the bathroom, and he'll fall forward into the urinal, wetting his chest and face. They'll toss him in the stall beside, lock the door from inside, and crawl back out beneath the gap below so no one else can get in. He'll wake up shivering and weepy, vomiting lead shards, but he'll get up and get on with his day, and that's admirable, some believe. He's shot on his way home, 17 bullets, caving his chest. The steering wheel falls from his hands, the tires hit curb, and his Kia collides with vendors, middle-class families, and the unhoused. All of them will die except he. He will get up again, crawling out the back window and staggering down Ocean Avenue in the July inferno, gunpowder exploding from between his joints. They shoot him in bed before he shuts off the bedside lamp. They shoot through every inch of his body. It takes 50 guns. Pushing him through the mattress, him becoming the mattress, making him the blood that soaks the mattress and fills the floor. The impossibility of vanishing. Still hear in vain refusal of each blast, crying, "No, no, no, no!" What does that mean? What was that about?
I don't know. He just takes it.
He just takes it. Oh, that's what it's called? Mm-hmm. He just takes it. That's what it's like being a guy.
He just takes it.
That's what it's like being a dude.
Yeah.
In the workplace.
Yeah.
You know, I get up, I check my fucking phone.
Yeah.
Bam!
Yeah.
Boom!
17 bullets.
They them! Right to the face.
Yeah. I don't know what that is about, but some of these things are so, like, I don't know.
Right. But it's kind of funny. It was funny, yeah.
They're like angry, horny, lonely guy stuff.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, he probably doesn't feel this way. He's probably making fun of people that feel this way.
He definitely
maybe.
is.
Right.
For sure. Yeah. There's another one, but I mean, everything in here is a bit too long for this rapid fire episode, but that was...
We're
check
gonna
out
do the front porch tales.
This is kind of new metal. Isn't this a new metal book, kind of?
Yeah.
Like, this reads the way new metal sounds?
Sure. I don't really know that much about new metal. Other than the spelling is
You gotta
not
learn that
NEW.
new metal, man.
I don't know.
Wait,
shit
can I
about
read
new
the
metal.
intro to the front porch
Please.
collection? Oh wait, give me a little tab.
Yeah, they're all too long.
We'll do a whole episode about one that you pick out. This one says, forward. This is the forward. And we also have the introduction. Okay.
This is the 5th edition.
Yeah. I don't know what this is called Forward, the Church in the Wildwood. I don't know what I expect to find at the end of that narrow road through the bare trees in Marion County, Indiana. But what I found was a little red brick church, a meeting house, the Quakers call it. I went inside. The place of worship was a room, plain and simple, with smooth tile floors and folding chairs, facing a modest wooden pulpit. Behind this, sitting on a chair facing the others, was a man, rather young, as he seemed, lean in face and frame, hands clasped in his lap, head bowed slightly, his eyes shut tightly in obviously earnest prayer, and the service of friends began. When the youthful pastor stood, the appearance of piety vanished. It was clear in a quiet sort of way that he loved these people in the folding chairs, and they loved him. And as his eyes met theirs, I studied the former large, brown, smiling, penetrating eyes. Something wonderful is about to happen, I thought, and it did. It was not a speaker's voice, in quotes, really, but it was warm and smooth, and it measured the words it spoke the way a journeyman carpenter measures wood. For Conrad, he's a carpenter.
Thanks, man.
And so one rafter, one casement at a time, did Philip Gully craft for us in the folding chairs a house of sorts, in which we dwelled for the next 20 minutes or so, and which I have often happily revisited in my mind ever since. To paraphrase him, would paint a misshapen, colorless picture of that dear place he created for us. But I remember how what he said made me feel, as though I were drawn into a world for which I longed, and yet which I had believed was now inaccessible in these turbulent high-tech times. The tale he unveiled was tender and humorous, and the characters who populated it Real people whom the young pastor had known came vividly to life as he spoke. And then, sudden, unexpected, lump in the throat poignancy. And I found myself lamenting irresistibly that others who have longed, as I had, once upon another time, did not know the way down the narrow road through the bare trees to the church in the wild wood in the gentle voice. Well, now you do.
Wow.
The sentence structure is so... I was like, wait, he's just...
hard.
Was
The
it
comprehension is
Okay,
low.
you're going to tell us the story behind these stories.
Oh
and
my
then
God.
Zach is going to read one of the stories.
I just literally held the book upside down. We're having fun here. I'm going to read and lean forward. The story behind these stories. When I was in college, I took a course in English composition. I received a D, but only after promising the professor I would never write again. I laid down
You had
my
one
pen.
job. You got the one job.
He can't do it, man. He got a D just so he could pass college and never come back.
We're reading his book.
I laid down my pen and for 10 years kept silent.
That's not how it works.
He was in the lab.
You write silently and read silently.
He laid down that pen.
Right.
And he picked up a pencil.
Right.
Then my Quaker meeting wanted a newsletter, and suddenly there was a front page which fell to me, the pastor, to fill. I began with stories. Stories of folks I had known and what I had learned so far. A woman in my meeting, Linda Baker, said, "You ought to write a book." So I drove over to the Earlham School of Religion.
First name, last name for the shout outs.
Linda Baker. Look her up.
Indiana.
So I drove over to the Earlham School of Religion and asked Tom Mullen to be my guide. Tom Mullen. And I asked my two best friends, Stan Banker and Jim Milholland, to read my work. And I asked my wife, Joan, one name.
Nice.
Because we already know it, it's Gully.
No, that's the other guy.
Oh,
I think he's Paul Harvey Jr.
John Harvey.
okay.
I don't know.
No, this is talking, Paul, okay.
Right, now maybe you're right.
You're going to love
I
this.
think you're right. He's
You're
going to
gonna
say his
love
name's
this.
Philip Gully. My name is Philip Gully.
He asked his wife Joan if she would mind doing the supper dishes and giving our sons their baths while I went down to the basement to write about family life. And they all agreed. Dude, he definitely, begged for this job. He's definitely like, I could, oh, you're doing a newspaper? I could write for it. I could totally write for it. I'll just spend some time in the basement.
He's the only person I think that works at the church, from my understanding.
No, the Quaker meeting wanted a newsletter. So
He's he's in charge of the Quaker meeting.
That's what. Okay, so he was spearheading the whole thing.
Yeah. It's all set up.
I promised to never write again, but if you guys want a newsletter,
I guess I'll have to write the front page.
I guess I'll just do the front page? I don't know. Yeah. I can just do the main part of it. And then
And he's also been writing his sermons every week.
You guys want that? Do you guys even want that? Super unsure of himself. So then I settled in and wrote a book. Then Paul Harvey Jr.
Right.
So this is definitely Mr. Gully. Paul Harvey Jr. and Dina Kinnan showed up one Sunday at our small Quaker meeting with Dina's sister, Denise Kinnan. And Paul Jr. and Dina sent my manuscript to John Van Dyst of Questar Publishers. Questar Publishers!
Shout out.
Shout out! Questar! Bring Questar your books! And they agreed to publish What's Next? Oh, fuck, the pages are sticking together! Oh, god damn it, dude. And they agreed to publish it.
Who would have thought?
They agreed to publish
The book we're reading?
it. So
Home
that's
stretch.
the story. We got this, guys. I'm gonna nail this. Check this out. So that's the story behind those stories. I am profoundly grateful to all who had a hand in it, from Linda to John to you, the reader, for spending your hard-earned money on an unknown. And I'm grateful. That's you, Andrew. And I'm grateful. Not the unknown.
When I bought it at the hospice thrift store in East Texas.
The person who bought this book is
right.
definitely
For
passed,
sure.
passed
Gone,
on.
yeah.
You spend hard-earned money on an unknown, and I'm grateful for my little Quaker meeting, who encourage me and pray for me and hold me in God's light. Be aware that a few of the names and events in this book have been altered to protect persons still living.
What about
namely
Linda
me.
Baker?
Linda Baker and
Is
all
she
the
real?
others.
If Linda Baker's not real.
Yeah, Linda Baker, Tom Mullen, Jim Milholland. I couldn't go back home for swap and shop days or music nights at Ellis Park. Thomas, what the fuck? Be aware that a few of the names and events in this book have been altered to protect persons still living, namely me. The alternative is full disclosure, which means I couldn't go back home for swap and shop days or music nights at Ellis Park. Thomas Wolfe was mistaken. So, you just got named.
Thomas Wolfe or Tom Wolfe?
Thomas Wolfe
Okay.
was mistaken. We can go home again, but not if we tell the whole unvarnished truth. If you're from a small town...
I didn't know they were two different guys until like last year. Tom Wolfe and Thomas Wolfe were two different
I
guys.
recently got that figured out as well.
They both seemed like they would tell too much truth.
I think
And
they
people
both
would
did.
be
You
pissed.
can't. No, you can't tell. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I meant, yeah. It seems like people would be mad.
Not if we tell the whole unvarnished truth. But if you're from a small town, you'll understand what I mean.
There you go.
Gully's got some heat.
Yeah, Zach's got one. Zach's gonna give us one.
Yeah, Thomas Wolfe wrote Look Homeward Angel and
Yeah.
told too much truth, and he couldn't go home again. And then Tom Wolfe, I think, like wrote in black voice for 900 pages, and everyone was like, "This rocks," and then no one talks about it anymore.
Yeah.
In the 80s,
We should read that.
yeah, seems good.
Bonfire of the Vanities.
Yeah. I don't know if
Bonfire
it's
of
actually
Vanities.
in black voice the whole time,
It
but
seems yeah, he has that hippie book. He has a book about that my dad read recently that's just about like how evolution is fake or something.
Nice.
And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, the guy that wrote The Right Stuff, he wrote this book. And I was like, that's so weird.
that's Tom Wolfe.
Yes.
Tom Wolfe wrote The Right Stuff.
Yeah.
I think you told me that recently, actually.
Yeah. Because it's like he's like sort of like a journalist vaguely, but like in an awfully.
He's like a columnist.
He wears like a
No,
white.
it's like what's his face, like Hunter S. Thompson or whatever. Where it's
New journalism.
Yeah.
And
He's
you
just
and
fucking-
you journalism.
And
you know,
you journalism.
fucking teenagers, and that's his,
Yep.
journalism.
He wears like a white seersucker suit.
He wears a
maybe?
white suit all the time, which is pretty sick.
He lives on the
It is
fringes. He lives on the fringe of
Yeah.
society.
Yeah.
I don't
In
know
New
if
York,
it's
on the
seersucker.
Upper West Side.
If I see a white suit, I assume it's seersucker, but I have no.
I think it's linen,
Ooh, okay.
but maybe seersucker is linen as well, though.
This one is called Life's Too Short. I once spent a pleasant evening in the company of friends who thought my father had just passed away. I had gone to a church gathering to hear a friend speak, and people came up to ask me how I was doing. Not in the usual way we ask people how they're doing, when we're being polite and really don't care to hear, but in a sincere way, with their hands on my shoulder and their voices funeral soft. I thought this would be funnier. It seems like it's going to be really sad.
Keep reading sad ones.
Okay. I should keep going?
You're good for sad.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good at
At first,
this.
I thought...
You're good at this.
It's gonna have
thank you.
heart in the throat
Yeah.
poignancy or something.
Yeah,
It's
lump
a
in the
lump
throat,
in the throat.
point-
lump in the
poignancy.
throat, poignancy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put a lump in me.
Try to cry. Yeah, I have the chicken soup for the country
Try
soul.
to make
I'm gonna
us
read that,
cry.
but cry.
That's
be
your
good.
motivation.
Try
for
to
this.
read it and cry.
Okay.
Try to make the two of us cry,
I will try
Or
to
yourself. Yeah.
or you make
Probably
yourself
would be
cry.
the easier way to make us cry, is just to cry.
Mhm.
At first, I thought they were just sucking up to me, since a few weeks before a rumor had circulated that I had come into some money, which wasn't true. I hadn't refuted it, though, because if you're going to have a rumor floating around about you, that's a good one. It sure beats all the other rumors about me, most of which are true.
I'm gay.
Then a man sat down beside me, leaned over, and said, "I'm sorry about your father." I had talked with my dad that very afternoon, but grew alarmed at the thought that something could have happened to him in the short hours since. It would be like my mother to forget to call me if something had happened. I was sitting there being mad at my mother when the man said, "I read about it in yesterday's paper." What had happened was that a man with my father's name had died, and the survivors included a son with my name.
What?
Wow. People from 3 different churches had prayed for me that morning. If you can ever arrange it to experience that much compassion without having to suffer the pain of a loved one's passing, I encourage you to take full advantage of it. It was a splendid evening. Oh, there were a few drawbacks. One guy, whom I thought was my friend, didn't say a word to me. The more I think about that, the madder I get. If his father had died, I'd have said something to him. It takes something like this to show you who your real friends are. The other drawback is having to explain to people that your father is alive and well after they've gone out on an emotional limb to express their sorrow. You can see how they might be embarrassed. It's hard to talk with someone who has experienced the loss, so after you've been a comfort to someone, it's natural to feel good about yourself. I hated to deny them that feeling, so after a while, I stopped explaining and started thanking them for their kindness. It seemed the nobler gesture. Naturally, I'll have to set the record straight someday, but not until folks have stopped dropping food off at the house. I called my dad and told him...
Huge laugh break at the Friends meeting. Huge laugh break.
At the Quaker meeting.
Yeah.
I called my dad and told him he was supposed to be dead. He thought it was pretty funny and said it explained why people at the grocery store had stared at him that day. My mom didn't laugh and thought we were sick for joking about it. I'd hate to be a mother. They exhaust themselves trying to civilize us, and we repay them by watching the Three Stooges and letting our pants ride halfway down our bottoms. Nevertheless,
Pants on the ground.
this whole episode...
I'm always sagging and watching the Three Stooges.
Looking like a fool with your pants on the ground.
This whole episode has helped me appreciate compassion in those who show it.
Nice.
I've decided I want to be numbered among them. I've also decided to forgive the friend who made no effort to console me. After all, life's too short. Just ask my dad.
Nice.
Wow.
Let me go. Let me hit one. Let me hit the front
This
porch
is a
tail.
funny guy.
This is a funny guy.
Yeah. Man, we gotta be Quaker. I was Googling like Quaker stuff at one point. And I'm just like, they don't even have them here, really.
Yeah.
They have like one. We got like one Quaker.
Where's the church?
I don't know.
Is
South
there
Austin, probably.
Quaker Temple?
I don't know. Just a little room.
Is it the Marriott?
Just a little room. Observations. What are this? We got sections.
Like the nicest person I've ever met is a Quaker.
There you go.
There's
They
only
seem
one person.
cool.
But yeah, they seem nice.
Okay, I'm gonna go from the folks I've known section.
What is their deal, real quick? Can you run me down?
I think it's like,
Are they Christian?
yeah,
Yeah.
they're just Christian. They're like kind of like Amish, but not.
They're pacifists.
Yeah, they won't fight in the war.
And they, I
Um,
know that they do like
They're
worship-
called Quakers because they sit in a circle, and then like you'll maybe, like I think they're just really quiet, and whoever's led to talks. Like there's not like a person that's in charge of talking, like anybody can talk, I think.
Yeah.
But then maybe they're shaken.
They shake it
If
up.
they're led to shake or quake, you know, like the Shakers.
Shake or quake.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Richard Nixon was a Quaker.
Oh shit.
He was raised a Quaker. But so the sections are folks I've known, hearth and home, and observations. So I'm gonna do folks I've known. My friend Jim and why I don't like him. Yeah, that's such a good title.
My friend.
And that was one of his best friends because it was Jim and Stan.
Oh right,
Forward.
in the forward.
These two
My friend Jim and why I don't like him. My friend Jim is a minister. He wears a big cross. He gives a wad of money away every year. He is devout. He is smart. His children are gifted, and his wife mows the lawn. Naturally, I despise him. Once, he went on a trip to Honduras. A mission trip, he told me, to minister to the poor. It was the middle of winter, of course, when God routinely calls us to minister in the tropics. He needed work boots for the trip, so I lent him a pair of mine. I have 2 pairs of boots. My motorcycle boots and my snow shoveling boots. My motorcycle boots are the John Waynes of footwear. I pull those babies on, and small children cower behind their mothers' skirts. No one, I repeat, no one wears them but me. My snow shoveling boots are part of the Ward Cleaver collection. That's the guy from Leave It to Beaver. That's the dad from Leave It to Beaver. Thankfully, I haven't had to wear them since convincing my wife that shoveling snow actually melts fat from the hips and thighs.
There you go.
He keeps tricking his wife into doing all the
Into-
strenuous
into
housework.
working out.
Into being like, hey, what if you built the deck, honey? What if you...
That's awesome. I gotta start doing that.
Yeah. You'd be like, actually, it's working out.
That is, yeah. Erin's been trying to like do a lot of work around the house. I think she's nesting.
Right.
But she's like, but I keep being
It's
like,
also
"Don't
just
do
to
that."
get you to do it.
No, dude, it's not. I'm like, oh. She's like, do you want me to take those boxes out? And I'll go, oh yeah, I'll do it. She'll go, no, I want to do it. And then I'll like convince her to not do it, and then it's not done, and then I get pissed. And it's a fun little
You gotta do it.
thing that we do, but it's like I need to start like, just.
Right.
And then I started just letting her,
Right.
and it's awesome. Anyway.
So Jim got the boots. The snow shoveling boots.
Yeah.
I drove Jim to the airport. He had never flown before and was nervous, so I comforted him by pointing out that death by airplane crash, though increasingly common, is virtually painless. Jim was gone for 3 weeks.
Though increasingly common.
Yeah, he's joking.
That's awesome.
He's joking.
I know, I like that.
Yeah. Jim was gone for 3 weeks. He called on the phone when he got back home. I have good news and bad news, he said. The bad news is that the airline lost all my luggage, including your boots. The good news is that the airline says they're sure to find everything. They still call him every week to report on their progress. Naturally, Jim and I remain confident that the airline will pursue this matter with the same thorough efficiency we've come to expect from them. There are losses, and there are losses. Whenever I see Jim, I reminisce aloud about the best pair of boots I'd ever had. But the truth is, I haven't missed them at all. I lost them, but they were not a loss. But my grandmother, Norma, died right before that, and it was an uppercut to the heart. It felt like a thief broke in and stole the family quilt and ripped out the center pieces. So, there are losses, then there are losses. Once heard a psychologist talking about loss. She said most folks she counsels are folks who suffered loss. Loss of a loved one, loss of innocence, loss of trust, before they were capable of dealing with it. Sometimes we lose things before we're done needing them. Story in the Bible tells about a man who lost a prodigal son.
No.
The other side of that story was about a son who lost a father.
Right.
Then it hit him that maybe his father wasn't lost to him after all. And he swallowed pride and headed for home. My friend Jim says pride can cause us to lose a lot of things, like perspective and faith and compassion. He's right, of course, like he is about most things, which, if you must know, is why I don't like him. But I'm working on it.
Wow.
He's working on liking Jim.
Hell yeah.
So we're working on it.
Beautiful.
You
Where's
want to
this
do
guy?
one?
Yeah, dude.
You do one?
These are fun.
Close it out. It's like we're pastors now.
Yeah.
We did sermons. We all did a sermon.
I've never done a sermon.
When we switched to the front porch stories after the new literature, I was like, wow, I should never have left the ministry. The lives seem more pleasant. The ones represented.
That is what's funny about the newsletter is you kind of make it a little sort of propaganda vibe.
Yeah,
where you're like,
totally.
we're all happy and chill and we're all friends. So we play checkers and we don't even finish. we'll stop playing. We'll just go to bed. We don't care who wins.
I found one called Family Life and Other Reasons Jesus Never Married.
Nice. This is
So
gonna be sassy.
He's about to take him down.
This
and
is
be
gonna
like,
be really sassy.
oh, you think you're so cool because you're married?
No, he's gonna be like, I'm married and I hate it. And
Oh,
I
he's
get
not
why
Catholic,
Jesus. Yeah, I think because he said his wife was doing all the yard work.
True. Several years ago, my aunts made their annual spring visit to my folks' house. They were sitting on the front porch when they mentioned how nice it would be to have a family reunion before my grandmother went to glory. I looked at Dad. I could tell he wasn't wild about the idea because he was sticking his finger down his throat and making a gagging sound. But they applied... That's like The Simpsons. But they applied a little sisterly pressure, and within a week, invitations were speeding to the hinterlands. The reunion was held a few months later. We had more than 100 people there, including my grandmother, who was so close to meeting her maker that some of my family were telling her what they wanted when she died. Everybody was saying how nice it was that she got to see all the family before she passed. But I'm not sure it was all that great a comfort. You see, my grandmother was a dignified lady, lived a good deal of her life in England.
Oh.
Yeah, afternoon tea with pinky finger out kind of lady. So I don't think she was particularly soothed when my third cousins played dueling banjos on their armpits. Rules. This is awesome. I don't know what the bad thing is.
She's sad. All her kids are so poor.
Yeah.
Oh, my
They're
kids
doing
are all
arm
poor
wars,
picks.
laughing around. Yeah.
They're all fucking losers. I hate them. I hate all my family.
My second cousin was a school superintendent before he retired.
That's
kind
big.
Of he's kind of the family hero. Everybody has a lot of respect for him.
Nice.
A very thoughtful man, filled with wisdom and sound judgment, which he demonstrated by staying home. I have another cousin who has a doctorate. He lives in Chicago and does research for a university.
Everybody who's smart didn't go.
He goes to South America a lot. But I'm not sure why. Truthfully, I don't think he's a real doctor because when I asked him to play golf, he didn't know how. Dang.
We're running around the church.
I cannot believe it. At the reading. At the live reading at the bookstore.
No, this is what he does Sunday morning. This is pretty much what he does Sunday morning, from my understanding.
Oh, no shit.
That's what he was kind of saying, right?
I don't know.
A little bit. That's what Paul Harvey Jr. was saying. He says you see Phil Gully preach, and he tells you all these great stories. And it's like a house you live in. They're all like a house we live in.
Yeah, I like that. My godfather was there. He's the richest person in our family and also an atheist, which I didn't think godparents were allowed to be. Funny thing is, none of us knows how he got his money. One of my relatives thinks he sells drugs. Someone else mentioned that he sells insurance, though that's hardly an improvement. Yes. Get him.
I love family reunions.
Then there's my grandfather. He's not on my dad's side of the family, but since he lives nearby, he came just the same. He was originally from Belgium, but sailed to America when he was a boy. When he was a young man, he dated Gene Hackman's mother. It means Gene Hackman could have been my father if Grandpa had married her.
Popeye O'Doyle? From the French Connection. Royal Tenenbaum himself.
Gene Hackman's mom.
He wouldn't be named that. He'd be named Jim Gully or whatever.
Gene
Gully.
Jim Hackman. Gene Gully Jr. That means I'd have ended up in Hollywood kissing starlets. He's gonna kiss that's definitely what would have happened.
I've always wanted to kiss some starlets.
I
I forgot about starlets.
You need to kiss
as
a
a
starlet.
noun. I forgot about it as a collective noun.
I
starlets.
believe that you guys both could kiss a starlet.
Thank you. A
If
starlet is a child, yes, like a 14-year-old. That's how I have.
Let's see what Mary.
Oh yeah,
We have the voice of authority here. Let's see if they're above or below the legal age of consent, or if that's mentioned.
I suppose a starlet could be a
I think it's usually like Keira Knightley or whatever is a
Yeah.
starlet.
Sabrina Carpenter.
right.
I think you have to be in movies, TBH. I don't think you.
Oh, you can't just be a
I
star.
think you can kind of be a pop star, I guess, but you're less of a starlet then for some reason, and I guess it's because you don't get to be it later. They just make you stop making the music, you know? Because starlet is like you're young and you're gonna be old.
Yeah.
Okay,
What happened to starlets?
I don't know. There's so many S's: Sprite, Squaw Man, Stagecraft. What am I looking for? Starlet.
Starlet.
Standard. Stars and Bars. Okay, be before that. Starlet, a young movie actress being coached and publicized for starring roles.
Nice. Okay.
So part of it is that they are a top billing in the movie. Starring role. Not a supporting role.
Starring role.
Starlet.
Starlet.
A young lady who is, not the guy in the
Does it
movie.
say how old it is?
No, it's
how
from the
old they are?
1920s.
So
But it's
14,
like,
yeah.
you could be, it could be Shirley
Probably.
Temple, but it could be...
Probably 10.
It could be Shirley Temple, but it could also be Shirley Temple when she's older.
Audrey Hepburn.
Right, yeah. Could be Audrey Hepburn. Could be... Elizabeth Taylor's probably a good example.
Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Very good, yeah. If you guys see...
so-
what's that? National Velvet. If you want to see young Elizabeth Taylor. So you'd be kissing the starlets.
Yeah, he'd be in Hollywood kissing starlets, which would have cost me my job as a Quaker pastor and gotten me in trouble with my wife. Oh my God. So I guess it all worked out for the best. I don't know if Jesus ever attended a family reunion. The Bible mentions that he once went to a wedding. His mother was there too. So it was probably a family affair. They ran out of drinks halfway through the reception, so Jesus took some water and turned it into wine. Except in the Baptist Bible, where he turned it into grape juice. Yeah! God damn!
Fuck them up!
Nobody's safe.
Boom!
Suck it, Baptists! Get fucked. Jesus had some confusing things about family life. On one hand, he told us to love one another, but another time, at least according to Luke, Jesus said no one could be his disciple unless he hated his family. Perhaps that was Jesus' way of saying that we're to put him before everyone else. Or maybe he just had heard his third cousin play dueling banjos with his armpit and he meant it literally. Who knows what Jesus meant by that? I do know this though. The more I work on loving Jesus, the easier it becomes to love my family. Because maybe it's really a matter of putting first things first.
Oh, right.
When we love the way of Jesus first, Zach, we're then sufficiently equipped to love our families.
Second.
Even third cousins with talent galore. Yeah, your third cousins.
So that was why. What was the title?
It was
Why Jesus?
Something about why Jesus.
Why
never married.
Jesus never married.
Family life and other reasons Jesus never married. He barely touches on. I feel.
But
like
it's because of crazy in-laws, or like, does he even touch on why Jesus doesn't?
because he had dumb cousins.
Mm.
They're playing Jackbox. They're making him play Jackbox.
Yeah.
You really have to thread the needle when you are talking about what Jesus said about family, but also you're an American preacher who needs to defend the nuclear family. It's a tough one, because Jesus was basically like, yeah, no, you should be like a poor beggar guy that
He had a gang of
travels around.
runaways.
Yeah, you
Jesus
are.
really had a gang of runaways.
He had a gang
Sort of a
yeah.
Peter Pan situation.
Yeah, he would just have dirty men follow him around.
Yeah.
And hate their family.
And then, Captain Hook comes.
Kind of Master Shredder. Kind of a Master Shredder type.
Yeah.
Foot Clan
Yeah, which-
type deal.
Mm-hmm.
He only got to 12 before he died. Who knows how many disciples that he would have acquired if he wasn't stopped at 33.
An army.
He could have had an army.
That's what they wanted.
Overtake Rome.
All the disciples before
whole
Jesus
time.
died are like, hey, whoa, so I thought there was like I thought we were like an army that was gonna... What's up with that? You were talking about some kind of army? Was that like a metaphor? You're the general.
But St. Peter's Cathedral, I could be wrong, is in Rome.
In the Vatican?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Peter he beat Rome.
Oh, right.
He did.
Sure.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah. Or whatever.
When
He
that
got
one-
it.
When Constantine's mom becomes Christian.
Yeah.
Only
we
after
did.
sainthood.
That's when we
Only
did.
in sainthood can he rule Rome.
You're gonna close out on one? Or?
Well, there's one called "Why My Wife Bought Handcuffs."
Damn, should I? I don't know. You
wanna
need to
read-
read that. But
you
I'm
wanna
going
read
to
one?
think about it.
I did one. Didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Did I do one?
We've all done one.
Yeah.
Do a short one. Or I'll do "Why My Wife Bought Handcuffs." See if it's saucy. See if it's hot.
It's to organize her shoes. To
It was to have sex, I believe.
okay, with him.
Yeah, they're gonna fuck. He was so hard. He was harder than he'd ever been. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a full,
Yeah, one of
like
them
erotic, like lit erotic. He was the hardest he'd ever been. He unzipped his black pants.
Yep. I'm not gonna read that one. I started looking at it. It's
sad.
It's really sappy. So I will do one called a family tradition. Yeah. A family tradition. My mother was the first to notice how our son Spencer's feet and nose pointed in different directions when he walked. We took him to the bone doctor. The bone doctor. I'm the bone doctor.
The bone doctor's ready for you.
Welcome to the bone doctor.
We took him to the bone doctor, who laid our 1-year-old on a table and looked him over. Your son has turned-in feet and a hernia, he informed us. The feet we can fix with arch supports, but he'll need an operation for the hernia.
I had a hernia when I was a young boy.
Did you really?
Yeah, when I was 8.
Was it painful as fuck? It seems painful.
Yeah, it sucked.
Yeah.
It was hell, man.
Is it always like in the same spot or whatever?
It's like when it's when like some muscle in your stomach lining.
Groin.
Your stomach lining, yeah, and your groin kind of has a hole in it, and then there's stuff pushing down on your nads. So when you're a little kid, I think it probably is less painful because you're smaller.
Sure.
But
It sounds awful.
it's still really bad. Yeah, I had to go into surgery. I had a bandage. I still have a scar. I don't know if you can really. I can't really do that without showing you my penis.
Sure. Later.
But
It's way too big.
later.
Your penis is way too big.
Sometimes an athlete will be injured.
Yeah, it's too big and it's in the way of the scar. That's why you can't see it.
There's a term sports hernia, and I don't know how it's different from a
Sort of
regular.
sports hernia.
It's like a
Yeah,
sport.
I've got a sports hernia.
It's a sports murder.
Sports murder.
He'll need an operation
orgy.
for the hernia. Surgery was scheduled for the following day. I called Mom to tell her the news. She reminded me that hernias were a family tradition.
Wow.
My younger brother David had one when we were little and shared a bedroom. I remembered. Mom and Dad had called
So
the
you
kids
can get them
together.
when you're little?
Yeah. This kid's one.
Dude,
1
I've had
years old.
doctors tell me that they've never heard of that.
That's crazy.
Right?
This whole family has it all the time.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They got whatever weird Appalachian place this is from. They got it all the time.
Yeah, they just constantly get hernias.
Mom and Dad had called the kids together. We're back to the narrator's childhood now. David will need an operation, they told us. Could it kill him, my sister asked. We never know, Dad said, so we'd better pray.
Nice.
I prayed, but not too hard, since I'd always wanted a bedroom of my own.
Nice.
David not only survived, he came home from the hospital with the neatest toys. His was the perfect childhood illness, serious enough to merit presents, but not so painful he couldn't play with them. On the day of Spencer's surgery, my dad met us at the hospital. I'd guilted him into it. 15 years before, he'd skipped my high school graduation. Sitting in a boiling gym while a local pundit admonished the students to rise above their mediocrity wasn't Dad's idea of a good time.
Nice.
So he stayed home.
Dad's so cool.
Now he feels guilty about it and pretty much does whatever I ask, especially if I start humming Pomp and Circumstance. So I called him and pointed out that my therapist feels very positive about my chances for a complete recovery barring any further rejection, and sure enough, Dad was at the hospital bright and early. Everything came out fine. The arch supports did the trick, and the half-hour surgery was textbook. Even the scars went away.
Wow.
Blessed is the family whose gravest problems are so easily remedied. A cousin of mine gave birth some years ago. A long-faced doctor came out and told her that her son had 3 holes in his heart. It tore a hole in her heart too.
No.
Some scars are a long time healing.
No. Zeugma.
One thing I've never understood...
Excuse me?
What's a Zeugma?
One thing I've never understood is why I'm so blessed. Good parents, good wife, good kids, good job, huge cock, and others aren't.
Fat ball.
I used to think it was because I was nice to God, until I met some battered saints.
Oh.
Now I just think there's a randomness in this world beyond my understanding. The Apostle Paul said that on this side of things we see in a mirror dimly. If you woke up this morning and your kids were healthy and your parents loved you, then you don't have any problems. You might think you do, but you don't. And if at night, when you steal into your child's room and watch her little body rise and fall with the breathing and your heart aches with love, consider your life sublime.
Nice.
Whoa.
That's the end.
That's the end of the hernia story. The multiple hernias.
Yeah. I'm just talking about the most random shit, and then I go, and like the Apostle Paul said, it's through a mirror darkly, so we don't know. We don't know about the Super Smash Brothers tournament coming up, so a lot of different competitors coming in, a lot of different characters they're playing.
They, what a great time.
Yeah. That one was so bad. That
was awful.
That was one where I'm just like, I lost the plot. I lost all the other ones. I'm just like, boom, boom, yes.
Yeah.
But then it's like, oh, I'm remembering this while this is happening.
Yep.
So remember that for next time you're spinning a yarn.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll all just spin a couple yarns
Right.
sometime.
Damn.
Of course.
Damn.
Call somebody who you don't know
Yarn.
and spin a yarn.
Take them on a trip.
Take them for a ride. For all they're worth.
We got the good.
You were talking.
Don't look at me.
Where's the list of the good?
Let me go.
Say the good.
Just let me
Oh.
cook.
Let me say a good one.
Yeah.
I didn't get to.
Oh
do
yeah,
one.
closing with a quote is good.
Show me a hero and I will write you a tragedy.
Who said that?
F. Scott Fitzgerald
Wow.
died in 1940.
Alcohol.
What does the F stand for?
Fetal syndrome. Francis.
I thought it was Fitzgerald. I thought
His name is
I would
Fitzgerald Scott Fitzgerald. William Carlos Williams.
Ford.
Yeah.
Yeah, William Carlos Williams.
Yeah.
Ford Maddox Ford.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Fitzgerald Scott Fitzgerald.
Yeah. His name. He was named after Francis Scott Key. Which is
Yeah.
Francis
Yeah.
Scott Fitzgerald.
Nice.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
So remember that.